This sailboat has been on Jacksonville Beach for more than a month now. There's a lot of stories about the captain, the man who lived on board, and he's shared his stories with numerous actual news outlets. So I'm going to leave that to them. I want to talk about this boat itself, its predicament, what's probably happened to it, and what's next. This boat used to be in the ocean. What happened the night that it crashed onto land, only the captain will ever know. From his story, it seems like he lost power and the boat just drifted onto land at high tide, which, that sounds reasonable. Obviously, better maintenance of the engine should have been imperative, especially if you're going to go into the ocean. That is the biggest of the big. Things could have been even worse. Secondly, it is a sailboat. So even in a worst case scenario, a competent sailor should be able to lift the sails and control the boat using just Mother Nature, the wind. That's what it's for. That's what people have been doing for hundreds, thousands of years. Now, that is a skill. And especially under stress at night, those skills are harder to perform. The boat is now on the beach. It's pushed so far up because it came up at high tide. It's pushed so far up that it's impossible to get it back out using just high tide alone. There are parts of the boat underneath the sand that you can't even see that are buried there. And as the water comes up almost to lifting the boat out of the water, it creates buoyancy that's going to push it up back to level. And when that happens, the keel that's stuck in the sand is going to flex. And if that keel has fractures or any kind of breakage on the connection point to the hull itself, this boat is no longer seaworthy. As soon as, that's assuming you can even get into the water. As soon as you get into the water, this boat is most likely no longer seaworthy. The city took over this boat as a derelict vessel on November 16th. So far, that just means that the captain, the owner of this boat, is no longer allowed to live on it. What the city is going to do with it is an open question. A lot of times when cities take possession of a derelict vessel, they'll list it for $1 because the city does not want this boat. They do not want this boat. And if someone with the skills and the money is able to salvage it in a clean and controlled way, then the city will let that person take over the project. But more likely, the quickest, easiest, simplest option is just to destroy it, which is very sad. It's one less boat in the world due to human error. We can chalk it up to that. The sad truth is that this boat is beyond salvage. For all but the most equipped crew, this is a project that is not feasible. It's just not. It's a boat on the beach. Right now, it's been a really good tourist attraction for the people who see it on TV, see it on social media. They want to come out, take pictures with it. It's a great photo shoot spot, honestly. But for those of us who know boats, who intimately understand their workings and the philosophy that goes into them, this is heartbreaking. It really, truly is. Just feet from the biggest achievement a sailor can ever make at the very end of its life here on Earth. I've been Cullen. Thank you for listening to this story. It's a precautionary story that you need to follow. If you are going to do anything like this, if you're going to try to conquer everything that's in nature, you need to be prepared. There is no excuse for an engine failing. There is no excuse for not having the skills to pull up the sails and take control of your vessel in an emergency. It's a loss. It's a very preventable loss. Don't make the same mistakes.